another scary thing that's happened, and I know, Stephan, you've been involved in this, is the Defense Authorization Act, which allows the federal government to just unilaterally classify someone as a terrorist. They don't have to necessarily have committed any overt act. They don't have to have been charged with anything, been convicted of anything.
Let me guess who's at the top of the list.
Well, they're claiming, of course, this is national security, and we're going to go after the terrorist who might try to bomb us. But they've already started assigning this terrorist label to pro-lifers who've been convicted or done. Or
sure, the Homeland Security.
Right.
Is her name Napolitano?
Right.
She has identified Christians and pro-lifers as potential terrorists.
Right.
But this National Defense Authorization Act is a violation of our 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th Amendment of the Constitution.
Yep.
It eliminates habeas corpus, that we don't have a right to free trial, and they can hold us indefinitely in jail until they determine that we are a terrorist or not. Yep. And that could be a long time.
A long time.
Who's
well,
fighting that?
1 minute under those conditions in jail would be a long time.
No, it's already passed the Senate.
Right.
And it's up for approval. I think it's gone back down to the House, and there may be some reconciliation. We're hoping that the Tea Party representatives in the House will challenge that language. That language was added to the NDAA by Carl Levitt of Michigan and John McCain of Arizona. Added that language at the request of Barack Obama's administration. Well, so we're looking at soft tyranny evolving into hard tyranny in America today through the violation of our Constitution. This is serious business, and I think we need to be alert to this fact. We need to be engaged to communicate with our representatives and our senators that this is unacceptable. But most Americans are sleeping through this process.
Yep, and Rand Paul, who is an opponent of this and has spoken out pretty strongly about it, this is a statement he made. He's gone through the laws and how this new law would affect the American people. Quote, "There are laws on the books that now characterize who might be a terrorist." Here they are, ready? "Someone missing fingers on their hands is a suspected terrorist, according to the Department of Justice. Someone who has guns, someone who has ammunition that is waterproofed, someone who has more than 7 days of food in their house is eligible to be considered a potential terrorist."
You are kidding me.
No.
When Napolitano came up with these definitions for Homeland Security, I wrote and put up on the Black Pro-Life blog an article titled "Labeled to Intimidate." They intimidated, they labeled the veterans coming home from wars, they labeled Christians, pro-lifers, all of that. And it was all designed to intimidate us. And I went to a pro-life organization in Washington, D.C. that Johnny, you brought me to that organization and said, look, we need to respond to this, and we need to respond now in the same way that the veterans responded. If you remember, the veterans were very upset with that labeling. And they went out into the media and challenged it, and Janet Napolitano backed off that definition. But the Christians and the pro-lifers never said a word, and they allowed that definition to go forward. That's very dangerous.
Is this anything like RICO? Because they labeled us under that.
No, they just out and out lied about RICO. They're making their intentions very clear right here to me. This is not subterfuge here. RICO was a situation where they took laws that were put on the books to go after organized crime and perverted them to go after Joe Scheidler and other innocent pro-lifers who are not getting convicted of anything. So that was a perversion. But they're open about this. If this is allowed to go forward, we got nobody to blame.
Well, it's on its way to the president's desk.
Right. And you know he'll sign it.
He's going to sign it.
You know he'll sign it.
Last night, the Senate unanimously passed the defense spending bill in a 98-0 vote.